Barley Whiskey. So I debated whether I was going to do a review of this one. It was a very limited release. It was only available at the distillery, and I believe it has sold out. But I got a request from Andrew Chance, and honestly, it's my favorite US distillery. I love talking about them. So I'm going to be reviewing today the Talnua American Single Pot Still Bottled and Bond. This is the first ever bottled and bond American Single Pot Still whiskey. This is made in Arvada, Colorado, which is just west of Denver. The distillery itself opened in 2017, and it is an amazing distillery. If you walk in, it actually reminds you of Method Madness Distillery in Ireland. You walk in and you're met with this beautiful view. You get a straight on view of the distillery and the three massive copper pot stills. And it's really, really a cool place to visit. It was kind of created by Patrick and Megan Miller after they traveled to Ireland for their honeymoon. They were in Galway, they were at a pub, and the bartender kind of took them on a deep dive of single pot still Irish whiskey. They absolutely fell in love with the style and decided to bring it back to Colorado. So this is kind of a unique whiskey that it is a very American single pot still. It's using locally sourced ingredients from Colorado, but it's following the Irish technical file for single pot still whiskey. So it's kind of that next evolution in single pot still whiskey, and kind of solidifies the bond between Ireland and the US. They're doing some really great stuff at Talnua. They've got another release coming up, but this one was special. This was one of their first, as I told me, they're good casks. When they first started out, they bought the casks they could afford as a new distillery, a small distillery that's just starting out. And once they had a little money behind them, they invest everything back into the distillery, and they bought good casks. And this bottle is from one of those first casks that they bought they considered the good casks. So I was very fortunate to be able to attend the release of this whiskey. It was over July 4th weekend. This whiskey was done in collaboration with the Facebook group Irish Whiskey Fans of America. They involved Barry Chandler and Irish whiskey historian Fionnán O'Connor in the selection of the whiskey. It was between, I believe, 4 different casks of whiskey, 3 or 4 different casks of whiskey, and this is the one they all collaborated and decided on together. They did 250 bottles. It was sold for $150. I do believe it is sold out, but if you get a chance to check out the distillery, it's pretty amazing. So we're going to get into this one. This is a lovely, lovely dark oak color. This was 4 years in the cask. The nose, honestly, the first thing that hits me is the Colorado malt. And I believe this is barley, and a malted barley in this one. And it's something I also get on Stranahan's. It's something about that gorgeous Colorado malt, that barley, that you immediately can pick up on Colorado whiskeys. Also getting fresh red apple, like fresh cut, bright red apple. There's some peach on this one. Getting some cinnamon. A little vanilla. Which it was a recharred cask, so that makes some sense. And a little bit of the woody notes, not a whole lot. Sláinte. Such a nice, well-balanced whiskey. Really nice length of finish on this one. You can see, I don't know if you can see the tears on the glass. It's oily. It's got some good mouthfeel. It's sweet. Getting peach. On the palate, I don't get the fresh red apple. I get more of a baked apple. You get some allspice. The vanilla still comes through. Still getting a hint of cinnamon, but it's really, really slight. Finishes with some really gorgeous woody notes. It's got that little bit of spice with the wood. Really well balanced between the sweet and the spicy. Really good with the vanilla, the creaminess, the length of finish is I was honestly, when I tried this the first time out in Colorado, I was surprised. I'm already a Talnua fan, quite obviously. This one just absolutely blew me away. This is my favorite Talnua offering, which is hard because they're all good. Another interesting thing that Talnua is doing is they did a historic mash bill plan or historic mash bill release that they're working on for the future with Bowen Distillery in Ireland. So I got to actually see the casks that were from Bowen that are sitting in Talnua in Arvada, Colorado. And it's really unique because obviously due to the altitude, the angel share is much, much different. So they actually had to refill, I think, an additional cask just to make up the difference in the angel share. So I'm really excited for when that one finally releases. I definitely plan on getting a bottle of that one because that's going to be just such a unique experiment. If you are in the Denver, Colorado area, great distillery to check out. It's a smaller distillery. So one of the first questions I often get, and actually one that I approached Patrick Miller about, is when is it going to be available in other U.S. states? And honestly, I mean, they're only in Colorado and they're pretty much selling out of everything and selling as quickly as they can make it. So hopefully someday, if you're in the area, definitely worth a look. It's a great distillery. They have an amazing cocktail bar. Brilliant cocktail. I'm not a huge cocktail person. I don't typically go into a bar and get a cocktail. One of the best, if not the best cocktails I've ever had was at their cocktail bar. This one, I believe, is sold out. They do have an upcoming release here. I believe it is in October. It is at the end of October. It is in commemoration of the Colorado Parks and Wildlife. The Talnua logo has the ram on it. And so it just seemed like a natural collaboration to do that together. I believe that one is finished in port, so I'm really excited to get a bottle of that. I've already kind of been working behind the scenes to make sure I get one with some friends that I have out there. But if you get a chance to try some Talnua, it's definitely worth a look. It is a really unique offering. It is a true American single pot still. It is a single pot still whiskey, probably the closest you're going to get without going into Irish whiskey. And it's still got its unique take on it, which it's in a category all its own. Please like and subscribe and comment below if there's another whiskey you'd like me to review. Sláinte.